America, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe are breaking up. They're calling it quits. Okay.
Oh,
We've seen this coming. This is one of those divorces that you saw it coming.
mm-hmm.
You saw it coming. Okay. And here it is. All
Yep.
right. If you missed it, Shannon Sharpe is reportedly been bought out of his contract with FS1, and he will be done with Skip and Shannon Undisputed after these NBA finals. Okay. So we need to talk about this one. All right. But before we do, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I am your homeboy first, and this is the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something. That is my brother, the honorable one, Tim G. Jacob. So, T, we saw this coming for a while now. Okay. What are your thoughts on Skip and Shannon breaking up? And now I'm going to be silly. Where do you rank this amongst all-time breakups? Okay. Like Ike and Tina split up. The Beatles broke up. David Ruffin left the Temptations. Okay. It's been a lot of notable breakups. Okay. Throughout uh, history. Where are you putting this one?
I'm gonna think on that a minute. Let me think on that a little minute.
Okay.
So far as the situation that we're talking about right now, long overdue. We're starting to wonder if Shannon really understood his worth in the industry because he's entertaining. You know, he's entertaining. He's you can see his Club Shay Shay podcast really growing. He's getting a myriad of people coming through there, you know, athletes, entertainers, you name it. So I do think Skip is a little bit jealous of his star. I think Skip expected him to just be a football jock kind of guy that has a gift of gab, and he will always be second in a sense to Skip. But as always, we always try to hold our people down. There's a lot of people that like Shannon Sharpe for his opinions and his colorfulness per se. But this is one of the things that I'm glad is happening, honestly, because this show has really, to me, fell on deaf ears. They just have a similar formula, and I know a lot of it is probably Skip's formula. It's not really Shannon saying, you know, Shannon just kind of goes along and maybe acquiesces to Skip's ego per se. But it was just time for this thing to break up. So maybe Skip pulls a Stephen A. and like starts, you know, getting that brew or getting that some of the ones at FS1. You know, maybe he brings Joy Taylor on and they debate, or maybe he brings.
Well, you know they ain't have it. You know he ain't bringing no woman.
Well, you know, well,
It's about Skip, right?
Skip,
Yeah. Skip ain't bringing no. He don't be wanting the women to talk.
Well,
Remember, Carrie Champion kind of spoke on that because she
Yeah.
she wasn't going for that shit.
That's true. So far as breakups though,
He about to be silly.
as I look back,
Hell,
this one might.
Skip and Stephen A. broke up. I ain't even mentioned that one. Yeah,
That's right. I would like to say that this one is probably as shocking as Michael and Juanita. Or maybe like maybe this is like Zeke and Magic. Maybe it's along that line where what's another good breakup?
So do you
From
see
an
them?
entertainment.
So if that's the case, do you see them patching it up? Do you see them sitting across from each other in their elder years saying, yeah, man, we had a great run?
Well, I ain't gonna say what I want to say because you know me. I'll just say it.
This put it on some
I'm gonna
tape.
be respectful. I'm gonna be respectful to Skip Bayless today.
Oh, oh,
I'm just gonna be respectful.
I don't know what you
I'm not. I'm not gonna send him on to glory
Shut
today.
up.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna send him on to glory. I want him to stay around as long as he can be around.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say. But in terms of breakups, though, I mean, you got a lot of them out there, man. You 50 Cent in the game. Uh, you know, who was the cat that left the label? Left like Snoop leaving Death Row
Mhm.
on some bad terms. Uh, now what will be interesting to me is what Shannon's gonna do going forward because
Okay.
I know he's trying to leverage that.
Let me throw some your way then.
Okay.
Stephen A. Smith claims he would love to have him as a part of that first take roster. He wouldn't love to have him every day. He pointed that out. He wouldn't love to have him every day. He likes his assortment of people. Okay. But if Shannon Sharpe wants to join that group of guys, Michael Irvin and all the motherfuckers that he have on there, he would welcome that. He says that the bosses already know how he feels. And then because he made it known. He made sure we knew that he ain't the goddamn boss over there. Okay. But he said the bosses know that it has his blessing. So what do you think about that possible move?
Terrible move.
Okay, why so?
Because in all honesty, Stephen A really truly needs to just be right. He needs to stay right where he's at right now. I do personally think Shannon should delve over into maybe his own show. I mean, if they can give Colin Coward the amount of time they give him on FS1, I would think Speak for Yourself is what? Hour, 2 hours?
No, I've never watched that one.
I haven't either, but I think it's like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could be wrong, but if Coward can get 2 hours, I'm gonna say two.
But Cowherd has got one of the him and Skip are like the flagship guys, though.
They are the flagship guys, but they're flagship guys because of their name recognition, or let's just say they're provocative, so they get the draw that way. Shannon has just kind of established himself in terms of being a sports mind who gives very very good opinions. Now I don't agree with everything Shannon says.
Come on, T. You know why people fuck with Shannon Sharpe.
Oh
He brought out the liquor and he brought out
yeah.
the damn cigars.
Well that.
And on the do rag and all that shit.
Well that. And then but you see he stopped kind of really doing that for real once his star power kind of increased, I guess you'd say. So he kind of fell back off of that. To be honest with you, he ought to just keep doing the Club Shay Shay thing. Like, expand that, keep that going, because that's TV to people nowadays. That's the big draw. Now, I'm sure they're going to want him to be at some slot, but, Skip ain't going to let Shannon be in a slot that's going to supersede him. He'll quit FS1 before that happens. He'll be asking to get bought out. I think that's just the ego that Skip has. Like Skip's not gonna be second place to Shannon. Mm-hmm. So whatever that takes, I think FS1's gonna acquiesce to that. They're gonna make sure that happens. But to me, I think Shannon ought to just keep the Club Shay Shay thing going. Maybe kind of like the pivot, with Ryan and them. Mm-hmm. Maybe do something like that and just stay in that lane. Because he's getting the guests. He's got some of the best guests. I mean, Steve Harvey, Said the Entertainer. He's had DC Young Fly. He's had Prime. He's had all kinds of folks. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Well, this one of the questions I have to you. Okay. First of all, I want to know, did he request the buyout? Or did when you get bought out, I thought that's like motherfuckers don't want you no more, so they go ahead and say, we'll up this money. What can we agree on to get your ass up out of here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the way Stephen A. Smith talked about it in his reaction, basically he like, once they had that disagreement over
Brady.
that tweet, no, not even that. That tweet about the young man
About Hamlin.
Hamlin.
Yeah.
That's what Stephen A. thinks was the beginning of the end in his eyes.
Oh,
Okay.
I can get that.
Because Skip Bayless been sunning Shannon the whole damn show.
Right.
He been doing it. They got compilations. There are YouTube compilations dedicated to it. I would wait on them to get into it. And I knew Brady could make it happen. Baker Mayfield, crazy enough.
Yeah. Like, why is he still?
That's not a topic that makes nobody else in sports media argue, but it would make them argue, I think, because Skip Bayless loves Oklahoma. That would make them. The Dallas Cowboys, if they lost, I knew them boys finna get into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit like that was gonna make them argue, you know what I'm talking about? But that moment where Shannon disagreed with Skip's tweet, Stephen A. acting like he like, I know Skip Bayless. I know Skip Bayless. Basically, he was acting like that shit pissed Skip off. The fact that you questioned something that I tweeted, and I ain't taking that shit back. And it sounded like that motherfucker was alluding to. Skip probably told him, I don't want this motherfucker no more. After that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think he said too, like, I wouldn't think Shannon Sharpe would just give up a big platform like that. Like, if you ain't a regular on First Take, where else you gonna find a platform like that? Because that's the time slot. Undisputed versus First Take is the time slot.
Yeah.
Every other time, unless you're gonna go against, come to ESPN, get your own show, or go against Cowherd. Who goes against Cowherd?
I mean, you got Sports Center, so ain't nobody really touching.
Oh, really?
I mean, when Cowherd comes on at 11,
and then they go to Sports Center at ESPN.
Yeah, like Sports Center comes on at 11, if I remember right.
Okay.
So
they ain't finna bump Sports Center for no new show, maybe, unless Shannon finna show out, like show the fuck out.
Right.
I don't know. Where does he get in? Now, some folks are saying move Nick Wright and them up to the Undisputed slot.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, Skip just got to go on home. Let's just go and tell Skip what it is. It's time to go on home. It's time to get on up out of there, man.
Tell you one thing about that boy. That boy gonna do that shit till he die. Let me be 100. I used to, until Shannon Sharpe came for us down here. Okay, right. Jackson State supporters. I watched that show every damn day. My daughter would come in and say, "Daddy, why are you watching this?" He's watching this shit every day. So as much as I now watched him when he was on First Take, I watched a lot of Skip Bayless. I've read one of his books, one or two of his books. No, one of his books on the Cowboys. Okay, that motherfucker live for this shit.
Yeah, he do.
That motherfucker ain't got no kids because of this shit. He said, "My life gonna be dedicated to this." He didn't turn his wife. His wife know the parameters. We do not go out when this LeBron game on. That motherfucker live for that shit, dog. So he ain't finna go nowhere. He finna run that shit. He the boss.
They might be watching.
What if he get another? What if he find him another black LeBron lover?
If he can get Michael Irvin in the clear and back on TV, that's the only shot he got. He can clean all that stuff up for Mike and get him on, because that's what you're gonna need.
Okay. If you skip Bayless, okay, I'm gonna go back to the Stephen A. joint again. I'm merging all this shit together. Okay. Stephen A. said so much shit up in there. I could have made that its own separate segment. Probably should have, but I'm gonna stay here. Stephen A. Smith made sure that we knew he never gonna say nothing bad publicly about no Skip Bayless. He owes his career to Skip Bayless. He was like, Skip Bayless is the one that handpicked him for First Take when he felt like when he was getting railroaded at a time that he thought was unfair and stuff like this. Skip Bayless went to bat for him. Shannon Sharpe has said Skip Bayless is the one that handpicked me for this show. So if you Skip Bayless, you might be looking at, I made these motherfuckers. I can go pull me another black man and make him.
And see, that's what I don't like.
But don't you think that's how that motherfucker probably feel?
He probably does. And I say that anybody in the industry don't work with the motherfucker.
But
how about that?
But look at what Shannon put up with for all them years for that bag and for that notoriety and to become Unk. Wasn't nobody calling him Unk off the strength of his tight end play in the league.
That's true.
All that Unk shit is because of this damn show. And he had been on TV before that.
He had been. That's right.
But nobody, he didn't have no following like this because of that shit though.
Listen. He could simply go ahead and keep his thing going and really outshine Skip Bayless. Like Skip would have to go on home. Like, unless Skip gonna start debating like Lil Wayne, Mike Irvin, and some more folks, it's time to Skip going to the house. It's time for us to cancel Skip. Maybe I'm calling for cancel culture right now. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe it's time to just cancel him. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for him to go on home. Him and Ernestine, and let's just bring Skip on. Like, Skip, just do your podcast or whatever. You know, okay. You don't necessarily need the 9 o'clock.
Speaking of podcast, all right. Shannon Sharpe Club Shay has 1.18 million subscribers to that podcast. Now, as I've said before, though, you know that shit went hand in hand with FS1. You know, they were pushing that. But now that this is happening, that is severing that relationship. But with 1.18 million subscribers, if he can still get the guests, like you were saying, seemed like he can still sustain that. Okay. Skip Bayless, on the other hand, his podcast, which is not something that he gets guests and nothing like that on, it's Skip's time to just be him and talk. He only has 148,000 subscribers.
There you go.
Okay. Now, contrast that, though, with the social media presence, and which is something Skip used to throw in that man's face all the time, disrespectfully. Skip got 3.2 million followers on Twitter, and he follows nobody. Okay. Shannon Sharpe now is up to 1.9 million. Okay. So he's come up, but still, at least in that realm, he's still behind Skip. Okay. Now I don't know how lucrative that is to be having the most Twitter followers if you ain't trying to hustle nothing. I don't know what product Skip trying to hustle or nothing like that. But
First of all, probably 1.5 million of those followers that Skip's got are bots. Simply because Skip don't be on there like that for real. Other than tweeting about Braun.
He be tweeting now. Mm-hmm. Now he got Skip has 480,000 Instagram followers. I'm sure Shannon Sharpe got more than that. It might just be a bunch of aunties want to look at him, post them. He got 2.6 million Instagram followers.
Shannon looking at it like, look, I'm just as big, if not bigger, than this guy.
And he should have been looking at it like that the whole fucking time.
I mean, you are all
That's
pro.
That's all we always been saying.
Hall of Fame, tight end. Your bag is different. Like, yes, Skip Bayless is the godfather of sports debate talk. I get it. But you Shannon Sharpe, like
We've been saying.
you a guy. You are the guy. But maybe he was just, humbling himself because of the fact that, Skip being what he was in the industry, Shannon was just probably trying to just be respectful to the fact that this guy has those chops. He has the cachet. I get it. But it's time for Skip to go on home. It's time for him to go on home.
Ain't going
Or,
nowhere.
or okay. Or have Skip convince Wayne to start something with Young Money and do podcasts through Young Money. It'd be a Skip Bayless Young Money collaboration with podcasts. And because Young Money's already, he's got a sports agency, right? Wayne. So yeah, there you go. Tie it all together. Skip be the face of whatever division of that brand you want to make him. And that be his only saving grace right now is that he's tied to Little Wayne.
I don't know. Stephen A threw out some names that's some possibles, and I think one of them gonna. He threw out Shady McCoy. I think Shady will bite on that. He already on the network
Talking about to debate or to debate with Shannon or to debate with
with
him?
Skip.
Oh no,
I think Shady McCoy will bite on that.
no.
I ain't saying it'll work, but I'm saying I think he'll bite.
It ain't gonna work. Best thing he can do is clean up Mike Irvin's situation and get Mike on the show.
He loves him too much. I don't think he even want to argue with him. He loves that motherfucker.
Well, either that or Ocho.
Would Ocho bite?
No, he ain't gonna bite. Ocho say he good on the money. He ain't just finna go crazy about that bag like that. It's the same man that wears fake jewelry.
T Mike.
I don't think Ocho will do it. I don't think he respects Skip. I don't think he respects Skip enough to give him that time.
Yeah, he did have smoke with Skip in the past. That's true. Now, I don't want to forget this now. Okay, my bad. What say you? And I haven't looked this up yet to see what this person's response was. What say you to people who may argue that Kwame Brown is the reason this went ahead and happened?
There you go. There you go. That's they one.
Kwame Brown and bullet these motherfuckers into breaking up.
I give Kwame Brown 35%. I give him 35% of that.
Oh, the timing is horrible, man.
It is horrible. It is horrible.
Oh,
it is horrible.
You letting that little white boy do you? And that is.
Yeah.
Boy. Been too much, but America, y'all chime in, let us know how y'all feel about Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe getting a divorce.
Just go be free, Shannon.
Put it on something.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?